Alright, buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into a whirlwind of Hollywood drama. Imagine this Gal Gadot's latest move just might have cost Rachel Zegler millions of dollars. Yes, you read that correctly, millions. And all of this is unraveling right in the midst of Disney's already troubled Snow White remake. With the film's future hanging in the balance, tensions are rising, and it's becoming clear that this isn't just a financial issue, it's personal. But here's where things take an even sharper turn. Gal's decision to back out of key interviews wasn't motivated by money at all. It was something deeper, something personal. The question on everyone's mind is, why would Gal pull out of interviews that could make or break the movie's success? What does this mean for Rachel Zegler, who was banking on the film to solidify her relationship with Disney? Trust me, this feud runs way deeper than anyone initially thought, and the ramifications could be far-reaching. Before we dig into the nitty-gritty of this Hollywood showdown, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and drop a like. Your support helps me keep the drama coming with even more in-depth content. Now, let's get back to what's shaping up to be one of Disney's biggest headaches in recent memory. You've probably heard whispers about the live-action Snow White remake, but things have taken an unexpected and dramatic twist. The mounting tension between two of the film's most iconic stars, Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, is now at the center of the storm, and it's putting the entire production at serious risk. As we look ahead to 2025, this could be a pivotal year for Disney, particularly when it comes to their live-action remakes. Disney is already juggling multiple crises across several projects, but Snow White is rapidly becoming their most pressing concern. The stakes are sky-high, with the film's release date fast approaching in late March, and Disney has already poured a staggering amount of resources into the project. But here's where it gets even more complicated. The tension between Gal, who plays the evil queen, and Rachel, the face of Snow White, is now causing major delays. Rumors of behind-the-scenes clashes between the two actresses have been circulating for months, but things took a dire turn recently, casting a dark shadow over the project's future. And with over $300 million already invested in the film, Disney is scrambling to salvage what's quickly becoming a sinking ship. Reshoots, something almost unheard of for a production of this size so late in the game, have already been scheduled, signaling that Disney is in full damage control mode. Even Bob Iger, Disney's CEO, is said to be monitoring the situation closely, as some insiders are already dubbing Snow White a disaster in the making. It's starting to feel like the more Disney tries to patch things up, the worse the situation becomes. For months, rumors of discord between Gal and Rachel were merely whispers in the Hollywood grapevine. But things hit a boiling point when Gal made a shocking move that caught everyone off guard. Disney had mapped out an extensive marketing campaign for Snow White, which included joint interviews and media appearances with both stars. These high-profile spots were supposed to take place on major platforms like ABC, Vanity Fair, and IMDb, and they were essential not just for hyping the movie but for securing hefty paychecks for both actresses. However, Gal's abrupt decision to pull out of these promotional duties has left Disney scrambling. It's not just a logistical nightmare, it's a financial disaster for Rachel Zegler, whose career and earnings are tied to the success of this project. As tensions between the two stars continue to escalate, the future of Disney's Snow White remake looks increasingly uncertain, with fans and insiders alike wondering if the film can be saved at all. The behind-the-scenes drama of Disney's upcoming Snow White live-action remake has taken a shocking and expensive turn, particularly for one of its rising stars, Rachel Zegler. Initially set to earn an impressive $3 million from participation. While big-budget films often face their fair share of challenges, the ongoing feud between Gal and Rachel seems to be at the heart of the chaos. Their off-screen drama has spilled into production, derailing Disney's carefully crafted marketing strategy. The tension between these two powerhouse actresses is so intense that it's becoming a major obstacle not just for the film itself but for the studio as a whole. Participating in high-profile media events promoting the film, Rachel's earnings came to an abrupt halt due to a surprising last-minute decision made by her co-star, Gal Gadot. Gal, who portrays the evil queen opposite Rachel's Snow White, withdrew from the media campaign entirely, causing Disney to cancel the planned interviews and promotional appearances. This move wasn't just a logistical nightmare for Disney, it hit Rachel where it hurt most her wallet. The majority of media outlets had only agreed to feature the two leading actresses together, which meant that with Gal's exit, the lucrative marketing opportunities vanished. For Rachel, who had been banking on the exposure and financial benefits these events would bring, this was a major blow. Not only did she lose out on millions in potential earnings, but she also missed a key opportunity to elevate her profile in Hollywood, a setback that could have long-term implications for her career. While Gal also forfeited a significant paycheck, reports suggest that she wasn't overly concerned about the financial loss. Insiders believe that her decision to pull out of the campaign was rooted in a desire to distance herself from Rachel, both personally and professionally. What began as a private tension between two actresses has now spiraled into a full-blown public relations disaster for Disney, further complicating the already troubled Snow White project. The stakes for Disney could not be higher. The studio was relying heavily on the marketing campaign to generate buzz around Snow White, particularly given the film's substantial budget and production challenges. With over $300 million already sunk into the project, the film was on shaky ground even before Gal's unexpected withdrawal. Disney had banked on the joint interviews with Gal and Rachel as a critical part of its promotional push. However, Gal's sudden decision to back out has left the studio scrambling for a backup plan, putting the entire project's success in jeopardy. Disney's leadership, including CEO Bob Iger, is now feeling the pressure as they try to navigate this crisis. The tension between Gal and Rachel, which had reportedly been simmering behind the scenes for some time, has now erupted into a situation that could derail one of the studio's most anticipated films. According to sources close to the production, the conflict started when Gal privately asked Rachel to reconsider some of her social media posts, which Gal viewed as controversial and divisive. However, Rachel refused to modify or delete the posts, citing her right to express herself freely. This disagreement reportedly deepened the rift between the two actresses, leading to Gal's decision to step back from the promotional campaign altogether. Gal's concerns about being associated with the growing controversy surrounding Rachel's public image appeared to have outweighed her desire to participate in the media blitz for Snow White. Her decision to distance herself from Rachel has not only cost the film valuable promotional opportunities, but has also left Rachel in a particularly difficult position. Rachel, who had hoped that her role as Snow White would serve as a launching pad for greater success in Hollywood, now faces a significant career setback. The impact of this feud extends beyond the Snow White project itself. It has thrown a wrench into Disney's overall strategy for live-action remakes, which are already facing numerous challenges. The company's leadership is now consumed with crisis management, and nearly every meeting about upcoming projects like Hercules and The Sword in the Stone has turned into a damage control session. These projects are also experiencing production and marketing difficulties, adding to the mounting pressure on Disney to resolve these issues swiftly. At the heart of the company's current struggles is the growing backlash Disney faces from both fans and critics. One major point of contention has been Disney's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion (DI) initiatives, which have sparked heated debate among its audience. While some applaud Disney for championing progressive values, others argue that for Rachel, the stakes are incredibly high. Snow White was supposed to be her breakout role, a stepping stone that would solidify her place among Hollywood's rising stars. Instead, the project has turned into a nightmare, with her earnings slashed and her public image caught in the crossfire of a feud that's spiraling out of control. The company is prioritizing politics over the quality of its storytelling. This has led to a divided fan base, with many voicing frustration over Disney's direction. Despite the controversy, Disney has doubled down on its DI efforts, most recently by hiring a new DI supervisor with a six-figure salary, a move that has only fueled more criticism from certain corners. Bob Iger had previously hinted at potentially scaling back the company's emphasis on DEI in an attempt to strike a balance, but it appears that Disney is committed to pushing forward with these initiatives, regardless of the backlash. This internal struggle within Disney's leadership is contributing to the overall sense of chaos that currently surrounds the studio. As if the drama between Gal and Rachel wasn't enough, a new legal dispute is reportedly brewing between Rachel Zegler and Disney. Sources close to Rachel's team claim that the canceled interviews were part of her contractual agreement with the studio, and Disney's decision to pull the plug constitutes a breach of that contract. Rachel's lawyers are said to be exploring their options, and if this legal battle escalates, it could create even more headaches for Disney at a time when the company can hardly afford any more negative press. The missed promotional opportunities have robbed her of a chance to reshape her career trajectory, and the ongoing drama with Gal Gadot threatens to cast a shadow over her future prospects. On the flip side, Gal's career seems largely unaffected by the chaos. As a well-established star with multiple successful films under her belt, she may have felt confident enough to walk away from the Snow White campaign without fear of major repercussions. However, her decision to withdraw has undoubtedly left Disney in a bind, and the ripple effects of her actions are still being felt throughout the studio. In the meantime, Disney is left to pick up the pieces. With Snow White rapidly becoming a crisis-laden project, the studio must figure out how to salvage what's left of its marketing strategy and repair the damage caused by the feud between its two leading ladies. The stakes are high, not just for this film, but for Disney's broader plans for live-action remakes. And with every day that passes, the situation seems to grow more precarious. As Disney navigates these turbulent waters, the question remains, can they turn this around, or will Snow White become another casualty of Hollywood's never-ending drama? Time will tell, but for now, all eyes are on Gal Gadot, Rachel Zegler, and Disney as they attempt to steer this project back on course. As Disney navigates a precarious legal dispute with Snow White star Rachel Zegler, the tension surrounding the highly anticipated film continues to escalate. The core of the controversy lies in whether Disney had the legal right to cancel a series of high-profile media interviews that were set to feature Ziggler and her co-star, Gal Gadot. Rachel's team claims that the interviews were part of her contractual obligations, designed not only to promote the movie but also to serve as a significant financial boost for the actress, who is set to earn millions from the appearances. On the other hand, Disney firmly insists that these promotional events were not part of Ziggler's Snow White contract, and that they maintained full rights to cancel them if necessary. This legal battle has only intensified the already complicated situation, adding a new layer of uncertainty to the release of Snow White. With the premiere date drawing closer, Disney now faces the dual challenge of addressing the internal conflict with its lead actress while also managing a growing public relations crisis. The ongoing legal dispute threatens to overshadow the film itself, and it remains unclear how this conflict will ultimately be resolved. Industry insiders are watching closely, as the outcome of this battle could have significant repercussions, not just for Ziggler's career, but for Disney's handling of its talent and contracts moving forward. As the storm brews, Disney is moving ahead with its plans to release a full-length trailer for Snow White, which is expected to drop around the holiday season, likely in late November. The studio is banking on this trailer to generate excitement and reverse the negative press that has plagued the project so far. However, this may be a difficult task, given the massive backlash that the teaser trailer received earlier this year. Fans and critics alike were quick to voice their discontent with various elements of the film, from casting choices to its overall creative direction. Some even argued that Disney had taken too many liberties with the original story, diverging too far from the beloved classic. For Rachel Zegler, the stakes couldn't be higher. What was once a dream role in a major Disney production has now turned into a career minefield. As a young actress, Ziggler had high hopes that her portrayal of Snow White would serve as a springboard into Hollywood stardom. Instead, the growing controversies surrounding the film, combined with her feud with Gal Gadot, have put her in an uncomfortable position. Not only has she lost out on millions of dollars from the canceled interviews, but the fallout from the legal dispute and public drama is threatening her future within the Disney machine. Despite her talents and potential, Ziggler is now at risk of becoming more associated with behind-the-scenes turmoil than with her on-screen performance. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot appears to be taking a different approach. As a well-established star with a series of successful films under her belt, Gadot seems focused on protecting her career and distancing herself from the controversy that continues to grow around Snow White. Her decision to pull out of the joint interviews with Ziggler has been seen by many as a strategic move to shield herself from the negative press associated with the film's troubled production. While Gadot, too, lost out on a significant payday by walking away from the promotional events, her status in Hollywood allows her the flexibility to prioritize her reputation over short-term financial gain. However, her actions have also raised eyebrows, with some questioning whether her decision to step back from the project could impact her working relationship with Disney in the future. The situation has left Disney in crisis mode. What should have been a straightforward promotional campaign for Snow White has now turned into a full-blown PR nightmare. Reshoots, feuds, and canceled interviews have all contributed to the film becoming one of the studio's most challenging projects in recent memory. With CEO Bob Iger and his team already under pressure from various other projects facing difficulties, the mounting issues surrounding Snow White are pushing Disney into damage control mode. The studio is struggling to find a way to steer the film back on course while salvaging its reputation in the process. At this point, Disney's handling of the Snow White crisis could have far-reaching implications for the future of its live-action remakes. Over the past decade, these remakes have been a cornerstone of Disney's strategy, generating billions in revenue and reintroducing classic stories to new generations. However, the backlash against Snow White could signal a turning point for the studio's approach to these projects. Fans and critics alike have voiced concerns that Disney's live-action films are losing the magic that made the original so beloved, and the ongoing controversies are only adding fuel to the fire. Moreover, Disney's recent focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives has been another source of contention. While some viewers applaud the studio's efforts to modernize its stories and characters, others feel that these changes come at the expense of the quality of the films themselves. The divisive response to Snow White may be emblematic of this broader cultural debate. With Disney continuing to push forward with DEI efforts, including the recent hiring of a DEI supervisor with a hefty salary, the studio is doubling down on its commitment to inclusivity, even in the face of growing criticism. Bob Iger had previously hinted at potentially scaling back the focus on DEI in response to the backlash, but for now it appears that Disney is pressing ahead with its initiatives. As tensions rise, Disney must find a way to navigate the challenges it faces with Snow White. The next few months will be crucial for the studio as it attempts to drum up excitement for the film while managing the ongoing fallout from the Rachel Zegler-Gal Gadot feud and the cancelled interviews. How Disney resolves these issues could have a significant impact on its broader strategy, not just for Snow White but for other live-action remakes in the pipeline. The question remains, can Disney turn things around, or is Snow White destined to be another box office failure mired in controversy? With the release of the full-length trailer on the horizon, the studio is hoping that fans will embrace the film and that the positive buzz will outweigh the negative press that has surrounded the project so far. However, given the magnitude of the issues at hand, it remains to be seen whether Snow White can overcome its troubled production and deliver the success that Disney desperately needs. In the meantime, all eyes are on the unfolding drama. Fans, industry insiders, and media outlets alike are waiting to see how Disney will handle the various crises it currently faces. From the legal dispute with Rachel Zegler to the public relations fallout from the cancelled interviews, the stakes are higher than ever for the studio. And as the holiday season approaches, the pressure is only going to intensify. Can Disney manage to salvage its Snow White remake? Or will this be a cautionary tale of a studio struggling to find its way in an increasingly complex and competitive entertainment landscape? As we wait for the next chapter in this saga, one thing is clear: the fate of Snow White will be a defining moment for Disney, shaping not only the future of its live-action remakes, but also its reputation as a powerhouse in the world of entertainment. Whether the studio can turn things around or not, the coming months will be critical in determining the outcome of this unfolding drama. Stay tuned for more updates on what is quickly becoming one of Hollywood's most talked about stories.